Here he is, a philosopher, a writer, a comedian, enemy of Satan and all his minions, the host of Vague But True, Tim Bedour. Well, thank you very much. More and more U.S. citizens are becoming aware of the anti-human animal conspiracy, aware that many non-human species are aligned against us and seek to destroy our freedom-loving democratic way of life. As evidence, I submit this letter I recently received. Dear Tim, prior to my wife Cheryl's recent experiences, I did not believe your reports about an animal war. True, the stories in your reports were amusing, but I completely dismissed your notion of an actual conspiracy against humans. Boy, was I wrong. A few nights ago, my wife stopped while two deer slowly crossed the road in front of her. Suddenly, from the opposite direction, another deer charged out of the shadows and savagely attacked her minivan. Why would they attack a minivan? Because it's the symbol of all things good and sacred in human life. Because in minivans, we bring home cases of wine and gourmet quality microwave food. Because the minivan represents American families and our children who will one day maintain human beings' position as the dominant species while the deer are out in the forest eating tree bark.
Right. Yes, sir.
That's why the devilish beast put its head and antlers through the driver's side sliding door window and tried to skewer my wife's head.
Wow.
My wife swears she saw rabbits and squirrels directing the operation. Fortunately, my wife escaped because the godless creature's antlers became entangled in the shoulder harness and coat hanger-upper hook thing. Tim, I, for one, am sorry that I did not heed your warning sooner. Keep up the good work, soldier. Sincerely, Hank Ritz, SEICOM Vice President.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's pay attention to this man. He is not like you and me. He has made a success out of his life. He is a vice president. He has a secretary in his own office. He reads the Wall Street Journal. He wears a suit, probably spends more money to play golf per year than you and I pay for our homes, and he has signed on to our cause, which means I'm even starting to convince the smart people. What more proof do you need to get out there and start fighting the furry things? Well, for you doubters, I have audio proof of the anti-human animal conspiracy, proof of an elaborate plot deer have hatched to cause heart attacks in overweight deer hunters. Part of the deer hunting process is to haul the 200, perhaps even 300-pound animal out of the forest and strap it down to the hood of your car so you can triumphantly parade through town showing we humans are at the top of the food chain. We now have proof deer have learned to pick out hunters with clogged arteries and who also carry a flask of brandy or other mind-impairing beverage. Here's what they do. The biggest, plumpest deer in the forest exposes themselves to a coronary candidate of a hunter 10 to 20 minutes after other conspirator animals, the squirrels, the rabbits, saw this hunter finish off his flask of brandy. And after the hunter takes an off-target shot at the plump deer, it drops to the ground, playing dead. Then the booze-fueled hunter, amazed he has finally hit something after all these years and all that brandy, goes charging over and attempts to drag the 300-pound behemoth out of the forest, gets 20 or 30 feet, has a heart attack, and drops like a sack of doorknobs. At which point the deer gets up and runs away laughing, ladies and gentlemen. The hitch in the plan? To make carrying a deer easier, some hunters field dress it, which means gutting the deer right where it lays. It makes the carcass a lot lighter, good for the hunter, not good for the deer that's just playing dead. Yes. So as soon as other deer spying on the situation see a hunter attempt to field dress their playing dead comrade, they alert him by snorting a warning, at which point the supposedly dead deer suddenly gets up and gallops off. The audio I'm about to play comes from the camcorder of a hunter who was showing his son how to field dress a deer. Listen closely and see if you can hear the snort warning from the other deer conspirators.
You start just below the sternum. Holy
Yeah, what do we do?
Run for the car.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the snort?